Hello, Rosie. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
All right, I'm all right. Thank you. A little bit of technological issues.
Yeah, I got a new system and my other computer crashed and I've been dealing with that as well. Yeah, so
Okay, so let's hopefully the energy will be a little different in the next few weeks. So we're here for the messages from the Body of Wisdom Oracles for December 2024. So we are closing out the year. Can you believe that?
I cannot believe it. This has been a really odd year. It seems like things are speeding up and slowing down all at the same time. It's very strange.
Yeah, I've had a lot
Um,
of throughout the year, and right now I feel like I have had to take a few um rest days for some reason,
mhm.
and just it just kind of hits, and then I can go back up again, and then kind of heads down, and then I gotta get up again. So it's been really an interesting wave of energies, and then we had a big event on November 5th.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I went with the curve of down, a little
Yeah.
bit with that.
It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for the planet.
Exactly. So I think the message here is, overall message for me is that the more inward we go, the more centered and balanced and loving we can be. So I'm
I
just
agree.
gonna keep on doing being that mindset and just keep on doing that. So,
I
and
think
and
that's yeah, I think that's a great idea.
the messages are there to support us. So, working with the
Exactly.
card, it just kind of really helps to. I think every time we feel a little bit out of sorts, I reach out to my cards, and
Me too.
they put me back in the right
Frame of
frame of
mind.
mind. Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we're using our decks of cards, and next year we're gonna add a little something something to
We're
keep
so
it
excited, but we
to
won't tell you yet. You have to wait.
keep it interesting. We don't like routine either, so
It's like a New Year surprise.
yes, yes. So we have something in store, and even also for our Facebook group, we have a big shift coming out. So
Yeah, we're
we're
excited.
excited. Yeah,
We're
lots
really
of.
excited.
So I am Carole Frank, and I'm an integrative practitioner of metaphysics, and I have studied many modalities, probably too many to claim to list. Just keep on growing and expanding. I feel like, as as one to promote others to do their path, I have to continue on my path as well. So it doesn't stop. So and then I'm consciously mindfully and consciously creating purposeful tools to stimulate growth and transformation through multisensorial experiences. So I feel that's what I'm here to do. And I'm happy to support clients with private and group healing session. And now I'm doing some sessions and in shops around the Albany, Oregon, Salem, Oregon area. So, and then we're going to do some online. We're going to have our Patreon community also available. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to be with us and grow and transform your reality. So let's introduce you, Rosemary.
So I am Rosemary Nevara, or Rosie. I'm a psychic medium. I tap into my aptitude so that I can communicate with all manner of beings and help other people receive messages, talking to deceased pets, deceased beloveds. And also I do direct psychic readings, so you get to talk to your higher self as well. Um, those are the direct readings. I also use divination tools. I especially love our oracle decks, and then I'm into tarot as well. Of course, Body of Wisdom, our decks are my favorite. I'm very passionate about using my aptitudes, my gifts, to be of service to others. I was in a service profession for 40 years, and retiring from that has made me available to be able to be of service, continue to be of service, but in a very unusual, different kind of way. So yeah, I love this gig. It's a great gig.
I can attest to your talents and gifts. Thank you.
Thank you.
So our intention is always to support, our audience and clients to elevate their vibration, to raise their way of thinking and change their perspective and really create that. We have the mantra, or the business name is Soulful Joyful Living, but it's really a mantra for us to abide to. So we really wish for other people to also create that kind of experience, because we have the power to make changes. It's just not, we don't have, nothing is written in stone. So we have abilities to make shifts and better our reality. So this is what we're here to present to you with the Body of Wisdom Oracles, and hopefully the messages will support you in creating that mindfulness and conscious living, intentional living. Did so we use the I am a manifestor as kind of the theme.
Yeah, this is our springboard.
Oh, the color is better on this computer than
Yeah, on my
on
new
the
system,
computer.
my old
Yeah,
computer skewed to blue.
yeah,
This is more true than the other one. It was
yeah.
very, very blue.
So this is so we use the I am a manifestor as the theme, and then we pull cards from all the other decks. And did you want to start, or do you want me to start it off?
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. So the card that we pulled from the I am a manifestor is the manifestation tree. And this card talks about, so each of the card on the I am a manifestor started with for the purpose of manifesting my soul's desires. And its message here is, I am welcome into the heart of the manifestation tree. I become one with the cosmic forces of the universe as I am swirled into the energies of circulation and reciprocity. I celebrate all that is in existence, knowing that limitless abundance is accessible to me. So it's really inviting us to the heart. I love the card because it shows as if it's a path that you're going through into it. It's almost like there's a doorway that going into the heart of the tree. So I think it's a pretty cool looking card.
It is.
And
You outdid yourself on this design. Carole is a graphic artist for all of our cards, and she uses fractals and sacred geometry to create the images. And it's so interesting because she never knows what she's going to show up with, what's going to show up. She just opens herself up to the creative process. And all of the cards are so unusual and they're one of a kind. What I love about this with the message is that always makes me think of here's the horizon as above, so below.
okay.
So, so the whole idea of manifesting something is like the message of the card says, it's giving and receiving, it's reciprocity, it's celebrating abundance, and
Mm.
that the universe is limitless. And so, as above, so below, the universe, we ask, the universe provides, and it's just cyclical. So I love this image and I love the message of it.
Well, it's also interesting because the way that I'm looking at the card right now, I'm kind of looking at flat. And I'm
Mhm.
seeing like the red is the legs, and then the
Oh,
blue is the torso, and then the feathery right on
I
top,
can
the
see that.
swirls is the arms, and then you have the head. So it's almost like um, a giant of yourself is it's spreading its wing to that abundance to
To expand,
all
yeah.
these threads of abundance are there, and that's what we're made of. All these threads make us be that, because we are born abundant, and we just for some reason lose the idea or the knowing that we are, and we have to reclaim that for ourselves. And
Right.
um, understanding that the circulation and reciprocity is also uh, a, a, an important lesson for us to follow, because we tend to give a lot more than we tend to receive, and we may feel guilty or undeserving and unworthy to receive while we'll give our shirts off, but we may not be in the position to do that. So uh, you have to be able to have that reciprocity, that exchange. It's an exchange of energy. Money or abundance is just an exchange. So this has to be entertained. It doesn't have to be dormant. And oftentimes we take everything for granted. When it works well, we take for granted, and then when it doesn't work well, we're whiners or we're complainers, right? So,
Yeah, this is true. This is
so
true.
but I think being part of that cycle of reciprocity involves that aspect of gratitude as well. And
Yeah.
I know for me, when I started really working with gratitude,
Hmm.
it felt like it just opened doors, and I was more aware of what was coming in. And
Right.
sometimes I didn't know how to handle what was coming in. So it was really interesting because I never had experienced that. Receiving something without an attachment to it, I had not experienced that. Most of the time there was always something
Yeah.
new.
It was
Oh,
always
with it.
conditional, that whole
Exactly.
conditional thing. Yeah.
Right.
It's a
So,
real eye opener when you get something with no strings attached, isn't it?
right, right. So
Yeah.
so we have to be able to understand that we are part of a system, and we have to be part of that exchange of energy, not only of energy, but of gratitude and of love and compassion. So which brings us into that awareness of we are all connected, we are all part of everything, has a consciousness in some way. So
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great card to be the springboard for this month's reading. I really like it. And there's a V blog. This is the V blog, the reading is, but if you want to jump over to the actual blog post, you can do that as well to read Carol's musings on the cards, which is she always does a beautiful job. So I guess we're ready to go on to the I am deck, right?
yes, so the
So
next
this is
one.
the I am deck. We loved it. This is Carol's very first deck.
Yeah.
It's a it's a wonderful deck. It's my first deck that I got from Carol that I purchased from her, and I still use it every day because it's full of wonderful affirmations and probing questions that make me think. So the card that came here's the front of the card. It's all of the cards say I am. And then you flip it over, it tells you what you're looking at today, and then there's questions. So this is the I am, and I am staying on course. Now that looks backwards to me. I don't know if you can see it
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
seeing it correctly.
So this card is about the road ahead may not be clear. I may not know where I'm being led, but I trust unconditionally that life wants what is best for me. And this harkens right back to the first card about being provided for by the universe, that the universe is an ally and it wants what we want. If we view things and post things as positive and ask for positive things, if things are joyful and come easily, and we believe that, the universe says, okay, let's do joyful and easily. Or if we're in that down space and we say, oh, darn it, everything always gets messed up and is so hard, and the universe goes, okay, everything can be messed up and hard because it's very agreeable. We're in sync with it, we work with it. So this wonderful card reminds us that we can trust that we'll get what we ask for. So let's ask for things that are going to be what we want versus what we don't want.
Exactly. I think it
Yeah,
reminds us.
make sure you know what you want. Don't dwell on what you don't want. Dwell on what you want. So it's all point of view. It's all perspective.
Right. And you reminded me so many times. at the beginning when we first met, it's I'm like, yes, but. So the but negates everything else. So I had to really watch and change my way of approaching that is yes
Absolutely.
and yes. There's
Yes,
no
and yes.
but.
Yeah. And the but is, yeah, but if you, anything you I have a friend who always say, I don't mean to be mean, but,
But
and one time I said to her, I said, you know what, when you say but, that negates everything that just came before it. So when you say, I don't mean to be mean, but you might as well say, I'm going to be mean right now. So here I go. Because you just cancel out, I don't mean to. So I
right.
said, really pick your words carefully because you're not the only one who's listening. The universe is listening. People you're talking to are listening.
Well, and and I'm just thinking of, I am abundant, but
But
my reality is not showing that. So that's something that someone could easily say. So now it's
easily,
kind of
yeah.
like I understand that I am part, I'm open to the experience that I am experiencing a limitless abundance, changing it to taking out the but out of there.
Right, right. And then the probing question at the bottom of this card says, in which areas of your life have you felt challenged, uncertain, or unsupported? So this is the tough stuff. So you want to, instead of, when you think of that, yeah, I felt challenged with this. Well, now how can I flip that to reflect something different? I'm trained in hypnotherapy, and when I was practicing, you don't give suggestions with negatives, you give suggestions with
That's
positives. So I got a lot of people who wanted to quit smoking. So you train them by, if you say you don't smoke, your subconscious does just the opposite. So you use different verbiage. Instead of craving a cigarette, I want to go for a walk. I go for a walk. So you flip it, you change it with something else. So when you're looking for areas in your life that feel challenging, what is the lesson? Why do you think you're feeling challenged? What is it you're supposed to learn from that? And how's that lesson going to be positive? And then you can shift your thinking and it's going to pull in something different than it would if you just focused on how challenging it was.
and maybe the challenge is more of just a nudge into the status quo because you need that shift. So
Exactly.
who do I need to be in this moment to overcome this? So let me look into the reserve of strength and resilience that I may have, or whatever the challenge is we have what it takes. It's just for us to,
Exactly.
maybe it's showing up for us to really look at it on a more on a deeper perspective, just to kind of do that introspective work, do that inner work to be able to overcome it. And it may not be actually a challenge. It may be just an opening for something new, an opening for something better. So
Exactly.
our perception, we're perceiving it as a challenge, but it might just be for the better. Uh, the challenge would be of a divorce, but it's like, yeah, but you're opening yourself up to new opportunities for relationships that may be healthier, so
Exactly.
looking, so it's
Or the
it's
deal, the agreement, the contract you made to spend time with this person has been fulfilled. And so thank you for the experience. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you for all the lessons. And thank you for me being able to move forward in another way.
right.
Yeah,
So
it's all, you can spin it all in a way
yeah.
that really helps you work through the rough stuff, I think.
And the next one is from our consciousness deck.
Yes. This
And
is
the
the conscious
card is
deck.
infinite self. So I love that it has kind of like that eternity sign, the eight
Oh yeah, the
figure on the
lemnis
inside
gate
of
right
it.
here. But it looks like it's hearts that are sideways.
That too, and we can flip it to see the heart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's very cool.
So the infinite self, all the cards from the consciousness deck start out, or they bring in the gratitude aspect.
Right.
And so this one start out, the message is, as an infinite, powerful cosmic being, I am grateful for a deepened understanding of my connection to Source. I am more in touch with experiencing life in positive and harmonious ways through my multidimensional awareness. So again, that ties back to trusting that we are where we're supposed to be or being led to, and
Mhm.
also um, in the heart of that manifestation tree, there's limitless abundance and opportunities. So looking at that expanded awareness that of our connection to source and to Mother Earth really it's kind of like the foundation of
Mhm.
where we need to be, where we need to live from. I feel like
Exactly. Yeah.
because what
It's
we
like where our roots are.
yeah, I feel
Our,
we
and our energetic roots, not our physical roots. Our physical roots are here on Gaia, but our energetic roots are multidimensional and they spread into space-time everywhere.
I mean, I know when I started really connecting to source, I felt like um, my life changed,
Yeah.
and I think there was this sense of separation and disconnection, and and doing that and practicing that connection um, really helped me grow and evolve and evolve in understanding um, and being so much more open-minded.
Hmm.
And that just, I mean, some experiences I can't share with anyone because it's like, they'll label me.
Yeah, this is there's something really exciting and hopeful and comforting and also a little bit intimidating about being infinite.
Right.
It seems like a lot, but it's true. And it's exciting because the opportunities and the availability of all manner of experiences and ways to grow, it's limitless, it's infinite.
Yeah.
And as we are infinite energetic beings having physical experiences when we're here on this planet. So I just love the whole idea of the multi-dimensional self, the infinite self. Uh, it's almost like, well, if I mess this one up, I have another chance to do better in a different dimension.
That's why when I started doing my inner work, I'm like, okay, I'm setting myself up for a better one next time.
Right?
But I might as well enjoy some of it now, So I'm like, okay, let's get rid of those patterns so I can enjoy it a little bit better next time.
Next time, yeah. It's interesting that we come in with amnesia. We don't remember our past lives. And so it's sort of like we're starting from scratch. And to me, it's always been sort of a conundrum, like, God, I wish I had known that. I wish I had remembered that. This feels familiar. Clearly, I've done this before. I wish I had remembered that. But then there's also that thing, well, if you remember it, would you have gone ahead and done what you needed to do? Because, oh no, I'm not going to go there again. So it all works in the way it's supposed to work so we
Right.
can move forward. But boy, sometimes I really wish I had have had more information.
Well, I think the information comes when we're ready to hear it too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because in my teen years, or you wouldn't have been able to talk to me about this stuff, or in my 20s, same thing. I was just involved in other things. So
Yeah,
as
yeah.
but if for some reason life hits you and gives you some some lemons, and you gotta make a sangria
Lemonade.
out of it.
Yeah, sangria, better, even better than lemonade. Put some wine in that.
It's got more flavor.
So our next one is the working with color deck. This is this is the box. Look at that imagery. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this deck too. This deck is very to the point. It's it's meaty, it's pithy. It's like the images are gorgeous. They're all generated again by Carole. This one is expansive gray. And what I love about this is that black and white is a hard place to work from because it's either this or that, and there's no wiggle room. But expansive gray is a color that's all the stuff in between black and white. So it gives you more choices. And each one of these cards has the characteristics of the color, and then a little piece of information for you to think about. The characteristics of expansive gray are neutrality, which I love. It's always good to work from a place of neutrality, in my opinion. It's the other one is wisdom and reliability. So I think those are perfect descriptors of being in the gray, being in that neutral place of being open-minded, and there's a lot of wisdom in that. There's a lot of reliability in that because there's no one answer, there are many answers. These all start with I am open to the experience of, and then the qualities, the characteristics of the color are woven into that. This card is I'm open to the experience of remaining in a space of neutrality, giving me the wisdom to choose with which choice comes with which the choices I can't read this right today. I'm didn't have enough coffee. Choices come from freedom and reliability. So this is about having being in a neutral position and holding the wisdom to make choices that are going to be of benefit to free you from whatever's holding you back, and that are also going to be reliable choices because you're looking at it from a place of neutrality. You're being sort of like the sacred observer.
Right, right.
So I love
There's
this word.
with that neutrality, there's objectivity,
Yeah,
and so you're not just you're kind of looking at it from the big picture, the bigger picture,
exactly.
and bigger pers and kind of weighing the different perspectives and different because in the gray there's more than one option.
Right. It's
Um,
pulling back and looking at the whole
right,
thing. I
right,
think if all of us could find a way to do that, I mean, when we're steeped in something, it's so hard to see anything, but we become
right,
very myopic. We only see
right.
what's right in front of us. But if we can pull back and become just observe, and that's that being in that state of the gray, and boy, it really allows you to see things differently and make better choices, I think. At least that's been my experience.
And I think when we're unable to get that neutrality, um, even if we're not in that space of neutrality, we have to be able to listen in neutrality, not just the
Mhm.
observing, but the listening part. Because if you're out of sorts for some reason, and you seek the advice of another, like a reader or whatever, you need to be able to hear what that person is translating for you or interpreting for you, because you might just have, earplugs because you're not able to hear it for what it is. So I think it's not only, observing, but also the listening part, um, that is
Right.
important.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Yeah, I love we have
Yeah.
another card. Is
It's
it
a
in
crystal.
the manifestation deck?
No, it's the crystal deck.
Oh, it's a crystal deck.
Yes. So our
Oh
last
no,
card.
I meant we have another gray card.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And exploring the gray. Yes.
Exploring the gray.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another
Yes.
that's I love the gray cards.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I used to be a very black and white person, and because I didn't think I had options, because I
Right.
thought I was always doing what I was told, and that was the way it was, and I had no room for thinking of my own, and
Mhm.
I didn't have dreams for myself. So all of that made it that, oh, I have no options.
It's either this or it's that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, or it was just this. No, you do
Yeah.
it this way, and that's this.
Yeah.
So I mean, even to the point one time I questioned my grandmother. It was I think it was we were chopping parsley or something like that, and she said to me, she says, "Well, you need to do it this way." And in my head, and I was like, "Well, we're just chopping parsley. There's many ways to chop parsley."
Hmm.
But so it's almost, I started to think a little bit more. I'm like, well, no, there's just more than one way of, chopping parsley. So it's a stupid example, but at the same time,
It's a
it's
perfect example. It's a perfect example. My dad used to say just the opposite. I'd ask him about how to do something. And he'd say, well, Rosemary, there's more than one way to skin a cat, which the image used to freak me out because it's a creepy image. But it was saying there's lots and lots of ways to do something and get the same end result. So he encouraged me to look at different options,
right.
which was really different because in school it was black and white, but at home it was like, well, you could do it this way or this way or this way. Which one feels right to you?
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
I'm grateful for having sent my daughter to Montessori school
Oh
because
yeah.
not only it gave her, being able to think outside the box and have so many good skills, but it opened my eyes as well. I as her mother, I was because I participated in the classroom a lot. It was a co-op school, so the parents had to be involved,
Hmm.
and I just loved being in the classroom because I was seeing a teaching that was completely different from what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And it just kind of opened my eyes and my horizon. And then from that, I started, seeing that growth and and then, things happened in my life, but I never knew that I was so creative.
Yes.
And, you
Because
know,
you weren't allowed to be. It wasn't part of the paradigm. You were needed to do these things, and that's what all you're good for, and that's what you're going to do. And you had no opportunity to explore your own creativity.
because I know you always call me, the idea machine.
Yeah, you're the idea machine, honey, for sure. You're the master creatrix in the idea machine.
So
So now
I'm in
we're
a good
on
place.
the crystal deck now.
Yes. So so this is this is a special deck in the sense that Rosemary had conversations with the consciousness of the stones, and this one is I am red jasper. So we have the connection to our being, our infinite self, to connection to all that is, to source. Now we're bringing it back to connection to Mother Earth, to Gaia.
Right.
So she's voicing a message of remember, Earth child, you are spirit, and as such, you connect to all things. So it's almost like full circle.
Right. It takes us right back to the beginning.
And it says, in this time and place, you are stardust that has become an earth child. You are rooted in Gaia, rooted to Gaia, part of her cycles and systems. She provides all that your earth body needs to be sustained here. Standing on her belly, feel the energy extending from your root chakra and soles of your feet. Her energy rises up to meet yours, balancing your systems. Feel the vibration within you as it spins, connecting to and merging with your heart energy and your spirit. Ground and root, breathing deeply, taking in all that Gaia gladly shares with you. So again, it's also this is the perfect message to illustrate that circulation of reciprocity also, because it is an exchange of energy as well. Um, as you give to Mother Earth, you receive from Mother Earth. So, and she provides all the bounty and all the physical material needs. So, the
Yeah.
more we I felt like in my own working with my evolution, I do have found that the when I remember to ground, my abundance changes. It's almost like there's almost like a correlation. And I don't know how to explain that, but I can notice that changes happen as I remember to ground. So I think it's very important for a lot of us to ground.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
but
Yeah,
it's not, you can't ground too deeply either, because then you're not allowing yourself to sprout, right? So
right.
if it's the roots are too deep, you're kind of anchored, and you're cutting your own infinity out of what's
Right.
possible. I don't know if
Yeah.
this will make sense.
Whenever I ground every day when I do my meditation. And so I do a combination of as above, so below. So first thing I do is I imagine roots coming out of the soles of my feet and going down to the core of the earth, to the center of Gaia. And I sit there with that and I feel her vibration. And then visualize her energy coming up through those roots from the core all the way through the magma, through the mantle, through the crust, through the floorboards of my home, and into the soles of my feet. And then it runs up my legs and it converges in my pelvic bowl, and then it runs up and it stops at my heart. And it's a terracotta color, a reddish, deep reddish brown, and it starts to spin counterclockwise in my heart chakra. And then I connect with source and I feel and see light, white light coming down through the top of my head. It goes through my neck and it meets in my heart chakra with the brownish red earth energy. And then they meld and they spin and
Create
uh,
that Taurus.
they create the torus, and the colors combine and it becomes this like almost a magenta pink. And then it shoots out the top of my head and goes down and around and up my feet. So I've got this big donut shaped energy field around me. And then my heart torus, which is the biggest torus in your body, expands beyond that. So I get really blissed out. I get really blissed out when I do the connection of below and above. And one of the things that I've discovered is if I forget to ground and I'm not grounded and I go out, it's really hard to come back.
Mhm.
So, but it's interesting. The more I ground, it seems like the farther I can go, but I have to be somewhat rooted so that I have a place to come back to because I'm still in this skin suit, in this meat suit,
Right,
still in
right.
the skin that I'm living in. So yeah, but I love this card because it reminds us we're stardust.
I love the fact that it's like speaking to you as Earth Child.
Yes.
I think it it makes it more important that that's what we are.
Yeah.
We're part of. She's she's the mother,
Yeah, she is.
and each child needs to pay attention to how our grander mother is,
Yeah. Yeah.
grandiose
Well,
mother is.
we couldn't exist here if she
Right,
wasn't here. We wouldn't, there would be no place for us. And
right.
she provides so many things for us. She truly is the nurturer, um, ultimate nurturer, actually, in the physical for sure, and then energetically as well.
So
Yeah,
I think we had a beautiful reading in the sense that, walking into and it's, we started out with the nature card, and then we end with the nature card, back to the
exactly.
connection with into the manifestation tree and our connection to Gaia. So,
Yeah, which is appropriate because we came full circle. I like
right,
circles. I
right.
also like spirals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
hopefully this information, those insights will support you in embracing your infinite self and all the abundance that comes with it.
yes, throughout the month, we have
Yes.
the big month coming up. So hopefully
So
we'll give you some support while you're
we
working through the holidays.
we will not be having a Oracle Circle this month. We will start up our Oracle Circles back in 2025 in January, because of the holidays and commitments with everybody. Just decided to skip this month. And you're welcome to join our the Body of Wisdom Oracle Circle on Facebook. That's where we post readings. Rosie posts readings there. I post some one card spreads and the daily oracle and things like that. So, check. Whoops, what just happened? I don't know what just
Close-up of
happened.
the close-up of our decks,
I
yeah.
know, yeah, I just went berserk here. And then we are, so we're moving our links, Love Your Self Expression community to Patreon, our own Patreon Soulful Joyful Living community. We were, we had Jean Ann St. Grace with us for a few months, and she landed her dream job. So we are relaunching in January of 2025. So we will offer 3 tiers, and there will be inspiration, energy forecast, readings, worksheets, activities, lots of things to, and we want empowerment, awareness, and potentialities are kind of our themes for those. So if you're interested in joining us, please check that out. We'll be launching in January. And then this is how you get in touch with us. So we'll be happy to support you. And we look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you, Rosie, for this exchange. I always love
Thank you.
the
Thank you. It's
conversation.
always a treat. It's always a treat.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add or anything? Well, just happy holidays to
Yeah,
everyone.
happy holidays, whatever you celebrate or whatever you choose not to celebrate, relax into it and enjoy yourself. And it's it's solstice, winter solstice is coming up, and that's a time to go inward and do some reflection to prepare for it's the longest night of the year, and then the day after days start getting longer again. So it's like the return of the light, it's hibernation and then return of the light. So it's always a nice time to think about where you've been, take a break, rest, relax, and then think about where you might want to go as you step into the new year.
So I'm going to be hosting in person. We decided yesterday. I was doing the Oracle Circle at Observers in
Uh-huh.
Albany, Oregon, and we are going to be. I'm going to be hosting the Soul's Desires, Priorities, and Focus for 2025 class.
Oh,
So yes, so
nice.
it's going to be on December 28th. 1 o'clock, I believe, 1 to 4. So
So if you're in the area, don't miss out
yes,
on that. That'll be something you really want to do. That's a great way to finish the year and start the year at the
yeah,
same time.
it's a fun way to figure out what priority you should focus on for next few months. So I look forward to hosting that,
That'll
and
be fun. I look forward to hearing about all of that. I wish I was there so that I
yeah,
could participate, but I'm
yeah.
way far away from there. So,
I might think of doing it online. I don't know. I maybe
oh,
it's something that I'll do because I like to do that before the new year comes. So let me think about it, the schedule wise.
sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Rosie. I appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Carol.
I appreciate
Thank you,
your
everybody.
insights. Thanks for the decks and their wisdom. And we'll see you in 2025.
Yeah, in January. See you next year. That's so corny. I always love to say that. It's so cheesy, but I can't help myself.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.